Hello, welcome everybody. I am the Bradley Assassin. This is the Bradley Assassin YouTube channel. As promised, I said we would take some time to review some products for our upcoming cryptocurrency mining series. And here we are. Today we're going to focus on power supplies and all things related to power supplies. Traditionally in cryptocurrency mining, you have either graphics card mining or Asic mining. There are a few others, but these are the two most prominent and popular in cryptocurrency mining today. So generally, today we're going to focus on graphics card mining. The difference between the two simply is that graphics card mining are very fluid in that you can typically switch to different coins, and if a coin becomes unmineable for some reason, you can basically hop onto another coin and mine that, and they very a lot of options with graphics card mining. Where on the other hand, you have ASIC mining, and ASICs are a particular piece of equipment that is very efficient at mining one specific kind of coin. The downside, while that's great, and it really does very well for a limited time, but what happens with ASIC miners are eventually they become kind of outdated and aren't as efficient at mining, and then of course ultimately once they become not profitable anymore due to power costs versus your profits, you basically end up with a $2,000 or $3,000 doorstop. Now they are very good at what they do, but like I said, they do become obsolete after some time. Whereas graphics cards, once you're out of profit on a particular coin, or things aren't going your way, or if you just choose to start mining a new coin that comes along, you have the option to do so typically. So I am going to focus on graphics card mining. I've been mining cryptocurrency for over 3 years now, and I have a lot of experience in it. So hopefully some of these videos and some of this information can help you avoid some of the mistakes that I've made in the past. Now, typically whenever you build a open air graphics card rig, which we like to call it, basically like a homemade style mining rig, with graphics cards, you're basically going to be, you have a couple different options for power. Your most popular source is going to be your typical modulated power supply, like you would use in any personal computer. Corsair makes a bunch and whatnot, and I'll have some links down below if you choose to use that kind. Those are the most popular. Now, the thing is, right now in cryptocurrency mining, the parts are very difficult to get, and if you can get them, they're very expensive, upwards of 3 to 4 times what they cost a year ago, in a bear market. So I have been using a company now for quite a few years called Parallel Miner. This company I have reached out to and said that if I review some of their products and they like what they see, they would consider a partnership of some sort, or maybe even just a allow me to maybe bring the savings onto my community. So hopefully they like what they see here, and we do a good job, and that we can support them. But I've been using them for years, and what this company specializes in is cryptocurrency mining. They have tons of equipment on the website, and I'll have links to their website below in the description, as well as the specific links to the equipment we're going to cover today. Now remember, like I said, there are a couple different options in power supplies and supplying power to your cryptocurrency mining rigs. The traditional one, like I said, is your typical Corsair style modulated that are made to fit into PCs. But there's a more efficient and more cost-effective way even right now happening. And like I said, through Parallel Miner, you can purchase server power supplies. Now the thing with server power supplies is they require a 220 volt circuit a 240 volt circuit as opposed to a 120 volt circuit. Most homes and most typical electricity you find is running on a 120 circuit. So you have to be you have to kind of set yourself up or have availability to a 240 volt circuit. But the fantastic part about this is they're a fraction of the cost of your typical modulated power supply, and they're very efficient. 94% efficiency on these versions I bought here, and they come in a wide array of wattages. For instance, you can buy like a 1200 watt server power supply from Parallel Miner. You can buy a 2400 watt server power supply from Parallel Miner. And today what I purchased, it was a kit that I'll have a link to the description in the description below. It's a kit that comes with a particular power supply, the cables you need, and the breakout boards, which we'll get into in a second, because with server power supplies, you need a way to convert the power into a modulated form to plug into your peripherals, such as graphics cards and PCI Express expansion cards, slots, and that sort of thing, and we'll get into that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this box open. And this is from Parallel Miner. I placed the order, and within less than a week, it arrived at my door. They're a United States company, so if you're in the US and ordering, you should get your equipment fairly quick. And of course, they let you know on the website when they're out of stock and that sort of stuff. But this is one of the few places I could find that are, I mean, basically cheap in comparison to normal power supplies, and have a massive supply and availability of power supplies right now. Also, we're going to do an unboxing from start to finish. This is how it arrived. I just put some tape on the box to cover addresses. So let's move right into it, and you guys will be able to see right off exactly how this stuff arrives and the quality of the products and all that stuff. Okay. So you can see very well packaged. Got some paper right here for protection, along with your typical bubble wrap and stuff to protect the more delicate pieces of equipment. But here we have the kit comes with this. Like I said, let me first start with the breakout board so you guys can get an understanding of what I meant. So let's move this, and we will put the equipment out for everyone to see. First and foremost, the breakout boards. And I purchased a 2400 watt, a 2400 watt power supply. So the power supply, let me show everyone. So while we have the visuals right here, all the cables, it comes with everything. It's brilliant, brilliant. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me show everyone what we're talking about here. Okay, put this aside and we'll get right into it. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is your 2400 watt server power supply. That's right, you heard that right. 2400 watts. Typically, I like to use RX series Radeon cards because I mine Ethereum, and they are very efficient power wise. I have to pay my own power, and they perform very well, and they run typically cooler than a lot of your NVIDIA cards. So and ultimately, after BIOS modding, you can get, and BIOS modding is basically where you flash the BIOS on the graphics card with a different memory, whatnot, and it basically maximizes the card to perform best for mining. Basically, it allows you to undervolt the card, which will allow a lower run temperature while getting the highest hash rate out of the graphics card. So a 2400 watt power supply, as we have right here, you know, typically when I'm mining Ethereum, I can undervolt an RX 5700 XT down to around 100 watts. This sucker could literally power 24 graphics cards if you wanted to, realistically. Now, of course, you have to remember you have to power your motherboard and all your risers and stuff like that. So I use these 2400 watt power supplies typically to build like an 18 card rig, and it could power all your risers and motherboard as well without any problems. As you can see, it's relatively small. It's got, these are fans here built into the back. As you can see, 2400 watts and at 94% efficiency. These are cooling fans, and this is your input, which you, like I said, you need a 240 volt power source. I use a PDU, and I'll have a link in the description to what a PDU is and where you can get one. Basically, you plug your long PDU into your 240 volt power supply. It's power distribution unit, and then it allows you to have multiple outlets for whatever you choose to be powering up. In this case, we would run from the PDU with this guy directly into the power supply here, and that singular power source will power up this 2400 watt unit right here. And then on the front side, as you can see, we have two circuit boards, and these are where your breakout boards come into effect, because obviously you see it's not modulated, it's just a server power supply. So this is the power supply, and we will move right into what breakout boards are. You need the breakout boards to modulate so that you can get the power to your different peripherals. So as you can see here, this is a breakout board, and it comes with two. This kit comes with two, obviously, so you can take advantage of both outlets for your power. Okay, so what you do here is you have your power supply, right? And you can see you have your male circuit boards and your females on the breakout boards, and you simply plug the breakout boards into these slots here, here, and here. See, and then it modulates the power for you. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 outlets right here, power outlets, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 32 total outlets for your power. And of course, the kit comes with all the cables you need. You see here, this is your typical 6-pin power supply, cable, and you would basically just plug it in here and then run the other end of your cable to your peripherals, such as your video card or your PCI Express expansion slot. And as you can see here, you can choose what array you want your power cables to come in. I chose the 6-pin to 8-pin because my graphics cards have 8-pin power slots. So basically, as you can see here, you have 6 and then the additional 2 right here, and it becomes an 8-pin that you can plug directly into your video card. And then of course, that is how you power up your peripherals from a breakout board. And on the breakout boards itself, these are their newest right here. These are called the ZSX, the ZSX power. It has a breakout board, I should say. It has an on-off button. It has a LED digital display. I believe this reads out your current voltage. And you have your Molex power supply here that converts it into, you have this Molex and then this SATA power here, and then of course you have another piece of cabling provided with the kit that is very, very important. It comes with the motherboard power cable here, as you can see, and this plugs into here and then straight into your motherboard. You have an additional Molex power supply, and this kit comes with fans as well, if you so choose to set up fans on your mining rig to keep everything cool. And of course, it comes with all the fan cabling you need here. As you can see, all of these outlets here, these 8 outlets, 8, 9, 10, are for your fan powers. You basically can just run direct power from your ZSX parallel miner breakout board directly to fans. So the breakout board is more than what you need. I mean, you got all the cables here to run directly to your motherboard. You got fan power supplies, fan outlets to power your fans. You've got tons of 6-pin power to run out to your PCI Express expansion slots, as well as your graphics cards. And of course, on the X adapter, the version 11 breakout board they have here, you can see that there's an on-off here as well. So everything you need to power up and send power to your motherboards and your peripherals, all in one nice little package. So we're going to move this out of the way really quickly and touch on some more pieces that come in the kit. So that's the majority of the kit there. It also comes with this. Typically, if you try and buy the equipment separate, you have to remember to get the power cables and that sort of stuff. And I'll have all that covered in the description below. The exact kit I bought and the cables I bought and what I suggest and all that sort of stuff. So moving on, we got another piece of some more equipment from Parallel Miner that I will touch on right here. Remember, we're gonna have a lot of different videos in this series, but because power is the most important, I wanted to make sure we covered power for everyone. Okay, and again, great packaging. Everything bubble wrap from Parallel Miner. Great packaging. Look at this. Fantastic job, Parallel Miner. And then of course, these are our fans that come with the kit. So I'm going to show everybody that. And these are the fans, typical computer fans that you want to use to keep your equipment cool. I chose to purchase mine through Parallel Miner because they make it very, very affordable, very, very easy, and it's all in one nice package. You don't have to, you know, be digging around the internet for fans or good deals on fans. And these are really high quality fans. Let me move these suckers and we'll get into that. Again, great packaging. Thank you, Parallel Miner. And here we go. This is, I ordered, let's see, I ordered 8 fans. Obviously, they have packages with fans, packages without, or you can just order like a power supply kit and then go back and order the fans and stuff like that. But in my particular case, you know, because I was hoping to build a rather significantly large rig, such as a 16-card rig or 18-card rig or whatever, you know, whatever I can find kit-wise. Also, not to mention even mining rig stands, you know, like the actual rigs, the frames are difficult to get, and if you can get them, they're very expensive. So I'll have to look into that a little bit further, and that's going to be another part of our mining series. But as you can see here, very simple Parallel Miner version fan, but very heavy duty, very strong fans. And these were the higher CFM fans, and of course I'll have a link in the description for these below. And they have your power, which, like I said, comes from the Breakout Board. So the Breakout Boards have power ready, modulated for everything you need to build your cryptocurrency mining rig. So we will put these aside. And the last bit of equipment that I have from Parallel Miner is, like I said, I like to open them on live, so you know, on video, so you can see how well packaged everything from Parallel Miner is. And of course, and these here are some additional cables, and I'll explain in a second what these are for. Okay, so you saw the you have yellow and black cables, right? Right here. So let me show you guys the difference between the two. And it's the wiring's the same. It's not that it's different wire, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I mean. So okay, so from Parallel Miner, by the way, they make all their own cables, everything. They offer everything. You can knock out the whole power sector of your mining rig at parallelminer.com. But okay, so you see here, this is a this is what we use to power our graphics cards. You have a 6-pin to 8-pin, and they also offer 6-pin to 6-pin if depending on your setup. But I know that I'm going to need to go 6-pin from my breakout board on my power supply to my 8-pin on my motherboard. And you can see here 8-pin. So this will go directly from the breakout board to your graphics card. But because we're going to be having to use PCI expansion cards, which I will open in a second and show you guys what that is, we need a way to power the PCI expansion slot as well. And that's where these come in. These are 6-pin to 6-pin. As you see here, you have 6-pin right here that would go from your breakout board to 6-pin on the power for your PCI expansion slot. So that's the difference between the two cables here. One is 6-pin to 8-pin for all your video cards, and one is 6-pin to 6-pin for all your PCI expansion slots. And now let me show you guys here in a second, because my video thingy is over here. Let me fix this up real quick. So I'm gonna have to move this, go back and edit it. I hope I can get this for everyone. And this is PCI expansion slots, everybody. So let me grab one out of here. Okay. Now, Parallel Miner does normally sell PCI expansion cards like this. Unfortunately, they were out whenever I made the purchase for the power supplies. So I had to get them through a different company, and I will post the link for that as well. But as soon as I find out that Parallel Miner has a restock of them, I will let everyone know. Let me show everyone the contents of what comes with a single package PCI expansion slot. Okay, so what we have here, this is like I said, I ordered I think I ordered 24 or so, whatever. They typically come in sets of 6, so you can order as little as 6, or you can even order singles in some case, depending on the stock at parallelminer.com or the links I give in the description to where I purchased these specifically. But you can get packages of 6, 12, 18, whatever you need. So as you can see here, this is the actual PCI expansion slot. This piece of equipment right here. Basically, you have PCI expansion slots on your motherboard, but in most cases, your motherboard is not going to be set up to be able to handle 6, 8, 12 cores. There's just not enough room. So a lot of your motherboard, cryptocurrency mining motherboards have just a small slot on the board that allows for this little piece of circuitry right here that would typically plug right into your motherboard, right? And then you would use a male-to-male USB, as you see here, that plugs into this, and then this would expand out into this, out into your PCI expansion slot. So you're going from your motherboard here and just basically running out and making a whole new extended expansion slot, basically moving your expansion slot to a new space so that you have room for the graphics cards. That's all this is about. And of course, you see here, this is the input for your 6-pin power supply that we touched on earlier right here. So your power supply that you have coming from your motherboard goes right into here. If I can get it in there. See? So you're powering your PCI expansion slot from your motherboard. Show everyone on screen. And then of course you are going from your motherboard to the PCI expansion slot here. And then this would mount onto your cryptocurrency mining rig. They have four screw holes, if you can see that there. That would mount directly onto your mining rig, and you have a lock here which locks the graphics card into place so it doesn't fall out or move around. And then your entire graphics card goes right onto the PCI expansion slot, and then you lock it into place so it doesn't shift and move around. And that's all that a PCI expansion slot is for. So typically, if you're running like a 6-card rig, so to speak, you can get a smaller version of the server power supply I purchased and a breakout board, and then you would have your 6-pin to 8-pin power cables running to the graphics cards, and then you would have your 6-pin to 6-pin powering your PCI expansion slot, as well as your HDMI cable. I'm sorry. What's this? Your I'm drawing a blank. You have your cable running from here to your motherboard slot, your PCIe expansion for your motherboard. So that's kind of everything. I know there's a lot of information. I threw at everybody really quickly. When I go back and attempt to edit the video, hopefully I can break it down and clean it up a little bit. But that's everything. That is where right now you can buy very cost-effective server power supplies at parallelminer.com. They have kits that give you all the proper cabling you need. You can get your fans from them. Whenever they have PCI expansion slots in stock, you can get that from them as well. I have links in the description below to all the equipment that we reviewed today, and of course the breakout boards that they offer that are custom to them. I've been using the equipment for years. I've never had any of it fail. The only thing I've ever had fail are PCI expansion slots, which if you're familiar with cryptocurrency mining, know that that happens all the time, and that's the most common piece of equipment to fail. But thankfully, they're in. You can get your hands on them pretty easily, and I always recommend having, at least a half dozen in back stock, so that if one of them does fail, you can switch it out so your entire rig isn't down for a substantial amount of time. That's it for today's video on cryptocurrency mining power and power supplies. Of course, we're gonna have many more videos coming out in detail as we build the rig and as we receive more equipment from different companies and parallelminer.com in the mail, and we can start assembling the equipment and actually get into different software we use and into BIOS modding and all that other stuff. But for now, that's what we have. So thanks everyone, and we will see everyone at the Bradley Assassin YouTube channel. Thanks everybody. Goodbye.